Oh, and here I thought I calmed you. Okay. Okay, I thought I calmed them. I didn't calm them. Okay, shh. Okay, Google, play relaxation therapy music. There's a kid outside playing basketball. He wasn't there a second ago. And Daddy's outside. Daddy is cutting down a tree, which is why I'm doing a live, because it breaks my heart. But the tree, it's not having a good life. Okay, Google, turn the volume up to 1. Okay, Google, turn the volume up to 2. Oh, there he goes. I guess we don't have to listen to him. He's going to go away anyway. Okay, so welcome to the live, the chaos of Sunday, which is very funny. It's supposed to be Sunday fun day, meal prep day, day of rest, day of spirit. So let's talk about how much you actually are enjoying your day, and then the factors that create just a balanced life. So, you know, there are a couple of things that help with a balanced life, and there's actually like 3 main ones, and one is completely out of our control, and that is about the people that are in our life. Now, part of that is in our control. I might have to just shut that door and get rid of that dog. So some of this is out of our control. Okay, I'm going to shut my door. Goodbye, Oliver. Poor Oliver's. Now I've shut him out. Now he'll sit outside the door and pout. Better than barking at the kid that's outside playing basketball. So the one that is out of our control, somewhat, are the people in our lives. So we do get to choose who we're going to let be in our life, but we don't get to choose how they believe, feel, act. That's out of our control. And then there are the other things that we can control in life, and that is true health and true wealth. So true health is not headaches. True health is not allergies. It's not mood disorders, although I want to clarify that a mood disorder is very different than a mental health disorder. That is different. And we're not going to go into that because I'm not a psychologist, so I don't want to deal with that. It's not aches and pains. It's not lack of mobility. It's not chronic disease. And it's not a lack of vitality, a lack of cellular vitality. So all of this really showcases to me why diet is so important. The World Health Organization noted in 2016 that more than 1.9 billion adults 18 and over were overweight. That's a lot, right? And of these, 650 million were obese. And so if you look at this, and if you think about how, according to the National Institute of Health, they're saying now that obesity and being overweight, this is like the secondary cause of preventable death in the United States. And it's not just the United States, but a lot of it is the United States. And so I think that it's important to understand, if you want to understand true health, then you have to understand that, you know, this is it. This is a metabolic, this is not about being fat. This is a metabolic disorder. This is metabolic dysfunction. This is mitochondrial dysfunction. And so when we start to work on our metabolism and our functional abilities, then things start to work out the way that it's supposed to be. So if you follow me, or you've followed me for a long time, then you know how I feel about the fact that our soil is lacking in nutrition. And that's a big part of what's wrong with our food. And so it's being grown over years and years in fields that are being used really bad fertilizers and herbicides and pesticides. And these things are remaining in the soil where they are planting again and again and again. So now you have toxic food. So now you take your toxic food home and we cook everything. So once you've cooked it, then the nutrients are reduced. And so, then what do? You can do a quick steam. A quick steam will actually sometimes, there's some vegetables that it will increase when you boil, or not boil, but steam. But if you boil it and then you take that water and you just dump it out, well, all you're left with that you're eating is fiber. That's all you've got. You've gotten rid of it all. So raw foods and juicing and even the raw encapsulated fruits and vegetables that I use can be very beneficial to kind of bridge this gap that we've created of our own accord. This is something that we've created. And so it's important to understand what is the difference between the raw foods and these foods that we're using in our Simplicity Shred. And that is that you get something from the grocery store. It's already 2 weeks old. It was not picked ripe, and so it doesn't have the nutrients that you would want it to have. It doesn't have that nutrition that we're seeking to get from our food because it has just traveled from Chile to, say, Washington State. And so what you're looking for is you're looking for the ability to increase those nutrients by things that have been picked at the peak of ripeness. They are non-GMO. They have not been treated with all of these chemicals, and that by the time it gets to you, it still retains those good enzymes. And there's very few companies that have this kind of proprietary ability to take these fruits and vegetables and get them to you to actually get that nutrition. One thing I really loved when I lived in Utah was I would go with my friend Jen after we did our walk on Saturday mornings, and we'd go down to the Murray Farmers Market. And I loved that because these farmers, they're picking their food and bringing it right to the market. So you are getting that fresh, just picked nutrition. And if they're organic, even better. And so I always recommend if you can get to a farmer's market or just grow your own food, that's also just a huge benefit. I love that I'm getting whole foods in various ways throughout my day that haven't been picked at the wrong time, that haven't been grown in cotton fields, that have been tested when I'm supplementing 5 times to make sure that there is nothing in there, that we have boots on the ground at the farms going out there. They actually take their boots after they visited a farm, they go right into a bag and they go back to the facility, and the soil that's on the bottom of their shoes gets tested. So they know, are you full of it or are you not, right? Enzymes are important. I keep saying this over and over again because it's important. It is micronutrients facilitate body processes. And I think it's important for, all of these people, everybody's getting an awareness. We have so many people that are starting to drink like raw celery juice. I mean, heck, I think the pre-order just started today for the Medical Medium's celery juice book. He's writing a total book on celery juice. In what other day and age could you have a book on celery juice? And so those people that are into celery juice, a lot of them have heard about the difference between commercial blueberries and wild blueberries, and how much the energy and the action of how they're grown, where they're grown, you know, how, when, where, that makes such a big difference. And so on top of that, you have the fact that true health is about mindset. And that's why I focus so much on it with all of the people that I work with, is because it's important. And sometimes, you know how they say fake it until you make it? Sometimes you do have to start with just doing the process of meditating first thing in the morning, or like I'm doing right now. You can see the glow from my happy light. I'm sitting in front of my happy light, and sometimes you need to start with just that while you're doing all of these nutritional things, because it's really hard to have great mindset when you feel like crap. It becomes a cycle, and it can become something that's hard to get out of. And so when you have this great mindset and you have the great nutrition, it all kind of works together. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to talk about true wealth. Because when I talk about true wealth, people always grimace. Like you say, oh, have you thought about, your financial plan? And if this is it, so that's the face that you get. People don't want to talk about true wealth. They don't want to talk about money. They don't want to talk about financial planning. And they really don't want to talk about passive income, because people don't really understand passive income. There's been so many bad companies that have played on so many people's emotions that people don't really understand passive income. So that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because they've done test after test after test. And what's funny is, so the test they just did in Finland was that everyone got a amount of money. Everyone. And that's something, there's a guy, I can't remember Andrew Wong, and he's running for president, and he has the same idea of what he wants to do. But anyway, it is this idea that they just gave everyone money. What they found was, giving everyone money, it did not make necessarily their finances better, but it made them happy. And so if we can find a way with money to be happy, oh my gosh, can you imagine? Can you imagine what that does for you? And people start thinking about this, and with a lot of, see, he's out there now, he's getting mad. Now Oliver's like, I'm going to get in this door, Mommy. Too bad. Shouldn't have been such a stinker. You'll have to wait till Mommy's done now. So anyway, when you look at a lot of these companies, and you look at how to build passive income, that passive income, it takes so many customers and so many people and just crazy volume amounts to actually do anything. When you think about a MLM, it can be very complex, especially with these like binary systems where you've got someone over here on your right leg and everyone's building the right leg, and then you stick someone over here that you don't like them because you stuck them on your other leg, your sad leg. And so if you really loved them, you would stick them on your other leg. But the truth is, you have to stick people on both legs. And so that becomes complex, and that makes people sad. Or you have to have people buying, well, number one, you yourself, you have to buy hundreds of dollars of product a month, whether you need it or not. Then you have to have all of your people buying hundreds of dollars of product a month, whether they need it or not, because otherwise you don't earn anything, which is why I really love this concept of passive income through a direct sales hybrid, because you have no quotas for yourself. Your only quota is that you are sharing and caring. And where the passive income comes in is by not sharing and pursuing and, attacking is what it feels like sometimes in some of these companies. But it's about how are you supporting? And that's what I love about what I do in business, is I get to do this that I'm passionate about. And for me, the passion is the nutrition. But then I also get to help other people that are passionate about whatever they're passionate about. I have a lot of people that come in to work with me that are light workers, energy healers. I have a lot of fitness people that work with me. I have a lot of moms who are just looking for a way to just do something. They have decided, like I decided, to take the mom route. And when I was helping with, my brother's children, I was working, but I was working kind of around when I had to be with them. But I decided when I had my daughter that I wanted to be prepared so that I could just stay home with her. And not only have I stayed home with her, but I've homeschooled her. Now we have her in a hybrid program where she's homeschooling with me and then going to this hybrid private school. And the fact that we are doing all of this and there's not this fear of a rock falling on our heads has made, that's what true wealth is. True wealth is not completely about what's in your bank account. It's about how you're approaching your money, how you're feeling about your money, and how you're believing in how money's coming to you. And sometimes that money is coming to you because of what you're doing for others, which is a brilliant, wonderful blessing. And I just have gratitude for that, because otherwise I would never be able to live this lifestyle that I live. I would never be able to, last week I was like, oh, I need another happy light because my husband is hogging the happy light downstairs. So I got another happy light for my office. I was like, oh, I don't really have the room for an infrared sauna in my house. I did some research and I've bought a blanket that's an infrared sauna that's going to be coming to me here in a couple weeks. There's just all of these things that I am able to do because of this, that if we don't put true health and true wealth together, you don't get the fact that in order to be balanced, you have to love yourself, you have to love what you're doing, and you have to have a healthy, happy feeling about the foods that you're putting into your body. Sometimes it might be that you need a tiny program to help jumpstart you. And I've seen that a lot with keto. But for goodness sakes, people, you need fruits and vegetables. You need carbs. Don't cut them out. You need it. Your microbiome needs it. Your performance needs it. And stop creating the sad stupidity that we're being told and being taught that we have to do. So for Sunday, I'm going to say to you, let people outside the doors in your life when they need to be. You hear that, Oliver? Let the light shine on you and what you desire. Bridge the gap with the best things in life. And find the way to successfully plan for your future. Because if you don't plan for your future, no one else, including the government, is. So make sure that you head over to the Simplicity Shred if you haven't. And I've got a bunch of geeky articles that you can read. And there's a bunch of different, if you go into my photos, you can see the other videos that I've done so far. We're going to do this through day 10. And then I'm having a lot of fun with this. I might just keep doing this anyway, because I really love that this is allowing me to share my passion in a way that is fun. And so I'm going to go love the puppy, finish my tea, and spend 10 minutes on the vibration plate. And go, brrr. That is true. That is what I'm going to do. So thank you guys. I love you. And have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your Sunday. Rest, rejuvenate, meal prep, right? And just Love. Love yourself. Love others. Bye.